morning, Rabotai. We're going to move on to the laws of Mincha. The Vav tells the person has to be very meticulous with praying Mincha properly. Eliyahu Navi was only answered at the time of Mincha. And you had the showdown between him and the prophets of Baal. He had to prove that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is with us, and therefore he had to make a sacrifice, and the fire was supposed to come from heaven. He prayed all day, and it only came down during the time of Mincha. So a person has to be meticulous to pray, properly pray the prayer of Mincha. Is a very powerful prayer. The Tur writes that it is a very powerful prayer because it's so hard to make it on time. It's very difficult. It's the middle of the day. A person is usually busy, especially during the winter. It's very early. The person has to really fix a schedule that he should be able to attend Mincha with a minyan. So that's why it's so powerful. The Lashon, the word Mincha, really, there's a korban called Mincha offering, which is a flour offering that we used to give during the morning, during the afternoon. The question is, why is the word Mincha associated with the afternoon prayer? Tosafot, the Masechet Pesachim, explains that it was referring to this, that Eliyahu Navi, the offering he gave was a Mincha offering, a flour offering, so that's why the name stuck. Mincha is a flour offering, that's why we call the afternoon prayer the Mincha offering, the Mincha prayer. But besides for that, the Ramban says Mincha is also the lashon of the sun is beginning to rest. When we pray Mincha, it's already when it's past noon, and therefore that's when the sun already starts its downward descent towards setting. So therefore Mincha for lashon of Minucha, resting. But anyways, the Rambam in the third chapter of Chot Tefillah, he says we have two times for Mincha in Halacha. We have Mincha Ketana and Mincha Gedolah. Mincha Gedolah is the first opportune time to start saying Mincha. It's the earliest a person can say Mincha, which is half hour after noon time, after Hatzot Halachic noon. So that's 6.5 hours into the day. And then you have Mincha Ketana, which is 3 halachic hours after that, which is 9.5 hours into the day. But the halacha, the Rambam interestingly says that a person who prays Mincha Gedolah is yotzeh b'di'avad. B'di'avad, you fulfill the mitzvah. L'chadchila, preferably, you should always pray Mincha Ketana. You should always pray the later Mincha, not the earlier Mincha. But the halacha, the wording of Shulchan Aruch in Reish Lamed Gimel is like the Rambam. He also sounds like Shulchan Aruch is saying like Rambam, that you have to pray Mincha Ketana, and Mincha Gedolah is only b'di'avad. But Rav Ovadia writes in Chavadat Chelek Dalet that it's only where a person has no reason. If you can delay praying Mincha later and you have no reason to pray it earlier, I just want to get it over with. No, that's not enough of a reason to say you should pray early Mincha. Pray Mincha later, like the proper time. It's more of an opportune time, closer to the sunset. But if a person needs to, he won't be able to make it to Minyan later in the day. He'll Chas v'Shalom miss Mincha completely. He needs to do it now in order that he should be able to at least pray. So then of course, you can pray early Mincha if a person feels he won't be able to pray later. But if he could, then you should always pray as close as you can to sunset. Pray it right before sunset, and then we'll talk about what's the latest time for Mincha and when to pray Arvit. Baruch